Hey, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. My man Zoe hit the end broadcast. So we're about to be back. We are about to be back. Hold on. Boom. Let's see here. Boom. 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 Let's see here. What? Where you at? Yeah, Zoe. Yeah. Huh? No, I'm not offline. What up, Scoldin? Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty. My man Zoe hit the end broadcast button. We about to get up and pop it again. Well, at least I think we are. How'd you feel about the game, Scoldin? Dun, 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 dun. 33-0. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hey, Zoe.
What's the deal?
When you logged out earlier, you ended the broadcast.
Oh damn, my bad.
I think you hit the end stream because we were all sitting there. We were all sitting there going, "Oh shit, the broadcast ended." I'm all, "What do you mean?" They're all, "Yeah, the broadcast ended." I'm all, "Oh, Zoe must have hit that button to log out."
I know I could do that.
Yeah. You, if you log in onto this StreamYard, you got full control like me, buddy.
Hey Yogi, why is it like my video? It's like it lagging.
On the screen. Oh, it looks pretty good. Here, throw up a 5 like that real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it
But
went
like
up.
I'm hearing it like I'm hearing you from two places.
Oh, do you got it up on YouTube at all?
Oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah, if you got it up on YouTube, you just got to hit mute.
Okay, I just got okay, bet. I ain't know. See, I ain't know I was hooked on to your stream yard.
Oh yeah. You're locked in, my dude.
Oh yeah, I ain't know that. That's why I was hearing when I was hearing the first time. I'm like, man,
Oh, okay.
my shit sound funny. Then I get back on the internet. I'm like, dang, where they go? Dang, where everybody else at? You can't find them?
I sent them the links. We'll see if they jump back in.
Oh man, I ain't even know that for real. Damn, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
So Cowboy being Giant 33-0. Damn.
Yeah.
33-0.
Yep. Oh
Shit.
my God.
Man, how you feel about that game? I ain't even talk to you.
Man.
You was at the game, wasn't you?
Yeah, we was all at the game. Me, Dave, GG Sports Rap.
The whole game.
Yeah, Johnny NFL. Man. That play calling, man. If it don't get better, I think it's gonna get worse.
Hey, that game was man. That game was horrible, man. I'm like, what am I watching?
And it was funny because at Skullfest yesterday, I really didn't even want to give a prediction because I don't know. I just felt some type of way about our starters not playing in the preseason.
But they ain't played last year though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just had this funny feeling that our offense was going to go missing for 2 to 3 quarters, and that's exactly what happened.
Like they did last year, man. That's crazy. And I'm gonna tell you what, Yogi. Man, the offensive line looked worse than last year. You can't block the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line, man. Man.
Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
It's gonna be a we'll see on Thursday night. I won't have my phone on. I'll be tapped in on Hulu.
Man, they better, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They gotta steal a win Thursday night.
Yeah.
They better look at
one
film and see what the New England do to play against the Eagles like they did. Could New England daring to beat them for real.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, go ahead.
Talk your junk while I'm gone.
Yeah. What D Woods and them at? Tony Bell, where y'all at? Tap back in. So we about to go live all night tonight. For real. Yeah, man, the Vikings, man, got a lot of work to do for real on a short week. We gonna upset the Eagles, though. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's what the Vikings do. Then what's going on?
What's up, man? I don't know if you heard me. I've been watching some of your shows, man. I really enjoy them.
Oh, for real? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I ain't know you even knew about my page.
Well, yeah, part of the Yogi brought me on, so I'm part of the network now. So I think they wanted to see how I did on my first show. Because I've been in like all of the chats of all the shows. You know, I'm like a regular. So, and I don't know if you watch One Bar and Love because I go on that show all the time.
I ain't hip to that show.
Yeah, so I go on there all the time, and I think everybody saw me on there. Justin, Yogi, I think they all saw me on there.
What's your page name on YouTube?
I haven't started my page yet.
Okay.
It will be my name. It will be my name.
You should be going on that other show.
What's the other show?
You said the Lombard and what'd you say? Who show?
Oh, the One Bar and Love Because. No, I do go on that show. They bring guests on to talk, and I go on that show every time. So I think Justin and Yogi, Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk, I think all of them saw me on there, so they invited me to come over and join you guys over here to be a content creator. I don't have time right now. I just started a new job, so I don't want to do anything with that new job, with starting a new channel and all that type of stuff. So I am going to start a new channel, just not right now.
Okay, but I appreciate you watching my videos for real.
Oh no, worries. I've seen Tony a lot too. I can't remember what shows I've seen him on, but I've seen Tony before.
I just started getting out here recently.
Yeah,
you know.
So
yeah, I appreciate that.
But other than that, it's nice to meet you guys because I'll be doing this a lot more. So
you too.
It's great meeting you, man. It's great.
That's the reason why there's when it says Catch on there. There's a reason that he has the Randy Moss on there because that's my name. So that's what the Catch 84 comes from.
Oh, for real?
So, yeah. TYA stands for That's Your Ass because when you get through Randy Moss, your ball handed you your ass.
Oh,
so
what was y'all output on the game today, man?
Oh Lord, here we go again.
Y'all, I ain't even hear y'all.
It's the more you talk about it, then you bring up what you had before, but then you remember stuff that happened, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, that pissed me off too.
Yeah.
Offensively, it was the offense let us down. the offense. I'm not even going to blame the defense for this one.
No, our defense played good to me.
Defense played good with what they had. So Flores is going to have that unit probably in every game.
Flora gonna take KOC job.
I hope he does, and I hope he gives a play calling to somebody else that's an experienced play caller. Because KOC's play calling hurt us a lot, and the fact that you didn't upgrade that offensive line now really shows.
That was dumb.
Really shows.
That was dumb. Like KOC and the Kirk Cousins is a bad relationship.
Oh, but you can't tell these fans up here. They're like, oh my God, they've worked together for 2 years. They're a great combo. Yeah, all right, shut up.
Well, I mean, it is the first time he's had y'all same Lucy 2 years in a row, but not playing in preseason. I mean, what good is? I mean, they were rusty.
So let me ask you this: Are you a Kirk fan?
I'm not a Kirk hater. I understand his limitations, and I don't think everything is his fault. So if that makes me a Kirk fan, then yes.
Oh no, I'm that. No, I don't know.
With Kirk,
I think
you have to work in certain parameters with Kirk.
Yeah, and the Viking and see. So when Kirk fails, it's not necessarily his fault. It's what they have around him. Like you can't have a crappy interior offensive line with a quarterback like Cousins, because even though he's not a mobile quarterback, even though he could be, he's quick enough to be. He just isn't. He can't add. You can't have. He's very regimented. He's not an off script type of guy. Right. So you have to have a good interior offensive line. Well, the Vikings have not helped him in that. So is that Kirk's fault or is that the organization's fault? Because you know what he is. I just want to ask. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I personally like Kirk. I think the Vikings can win with Kirk, but it has to be the right situation and not having a bad. I think if the Vikings, I think the Vikings can win with Kirk.
Win what? A game?
No.
What, Super Bowl?
If the conditions are right, that's what I said.
That's the whole thing, though. It has to be perfect. He can't any type of adversity. He can't deal with it, and it throws him off.
That's why you can win. You can win with a quarterback that's not a top tier quarterback. It's improving, but situation has to be right. So I'm not saying, he's not a Mahomes. He's not a Jalen Hurts. He's not a Burrow. He's not a Justin Herbert. I don't even think he's a Tua, but
no, he's
Tua.
But think about it like this though. Even though you feel like if you feel like you can win with Kirk Cousins, does the play calling mask what Kirk Cousins can do?
Hey, let's hear it,
no question. They don't run enough.
They don't run enough. You got with a quarterback like Kirk, especially now that he's older, he's getting hit all the time. Yeah. You're shortening his career each game.
Yeah,
this team needs to run the damn ball.
That's good.
Bottom line.
That's real.
17 rushes ain't enough.
Yeah. And basically, if you want to give your offensive line any kind of like confidence, let them go mano a mano and start hitting some people off the line. Run the damn ball. If you start having success running the ball, the play action opens up.
Yep.
That's just fundamental football. We learned that in high school?
But as someone who played offensive line and switched to defensive line, as an offensive lineman, you want to run. It's much.
That's what
you can fire off. You can punch it in the mouth. You can do offensive line. Yet when you're pass blocking, you have to sit.
You have to back up. You have to back up and plant and wait for. Because I was a D lineman, so you guys had to back up and wait for somebody like me to come at you.
Yeah,
you're better
run blocking
forward.
I could.
Run blocking, you took it personal.
Yeah.
You hit somebody like they tried to break into your house the night before. Yeah.
So I think that would help. I think that would help the offensive line too to get more in a groove. And then we all know Kirk Cousins has his limitations, but we all know when it comes to the play action, everybody in the league says he's the best play action quarterback.
And they don't run it. Yeah. Now here's my question. This is where we know Kirk's limitations, blah, 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 blah. We know the offensive line is garbage, blah, 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 blah. But like I said when I came on, how much blame do we give this coaching staff? Because whatever they're doing is not working, especially with that offensive line. What are they coaching these guys?
They're not. They bring
and I remember Donatel telling us trust the process. Okay, if that's the case, the process sucks because
Especially
they
his.
look that exactly. But what's his name teaching this offensive line
What's the
that
deal,
they
my boy?
can't get it?
What up, Mr. Lou? Man.
I mean, it can't be that difficult, can it? Has the offensive line changed that much? Hey, what's up, Skull for Life? Has offensive line play changed that much over the years? Besides, they don't coach it.
Well, like I think we were talking in the breakout room before we joined here, they're a lot softer than what they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and plus you've got offensive coordinators like a KOC. I'm just going to say it. Were failed quarterbacks at one time, and all they want to do is throw the football. And it's kind of like that whole Madden thing. I know you guys play Madden, Zoe and D Woods, but I'm just going to say it. It's a Madden thing where all you do is throw 99% of the damn time. Nobody runs in Madden.
I run the ball in Madden all day.
Well, you're old school then.
Yeah, I run the ball. Hey, when you pass the ball too much, you get interceptions and you get the quarterback killed. So I will run the ball all day.
Which is weird because in today's football, there should be more interceptions with all the passing attempts, but there really isn't.
Because they call pass interference more.
Yeah, and also the screen passes and all that. Oh, just those passes that used to be like laterals.
What up,
they're now passes. They're stats.
Yeah.
They're stats.
Yeah, I don't play Madden.
You're not missing much.
No, that's the reason why I don't play it, because they call it a simulation. It's the furthest thing from a simulation.
It's an arcade game. That's all it is. It's arcade.
Yeah,
that's all it is. All it ever has.
When people were comparing a game from 2007 to a game made today, and the game from 2007 has better physics. It's
yeah.
But yeah. No, I those who, what's the old saying? Those who can't do teach.
Well, even those that can't teach, they couldn't do it. They couldn't teach it. Why they? Well, and that's another thing too with coaches. A lot of it is friendships, and it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know.
That's another problem.
He was the closest guy to Sean McVay that they can pluck at the time, so they went and got him. How many Sean McVay guys got jobs? But
they made a mistake too, and it was a rush job because before all that went down, we talked about it. It was Harbaugh. Yeah. And so they had to make a quick PR move. So they went all in on Kevin O'Connell, and Kevin O'Connell had told them earlier, I'm getting ready to coach in the Super Bowl. I have no interest in interviewing for your job. Then all of a sudden, they're going out to the Super Bowl, granting permission to talk to him and was it Raheem Morris?
Raheem Morris.
Yeah, they talked to both of them at that time. But before they even hired O'Connell, they took it upon themselves to hire Donatell and a bunch of other coaches.
So, Tony, who you think would have been a better hire, Raheem or Kevin O'Connell?
I think Harbaugh would have, because this team would not be as
Harbaugh would have.
Harbaugh not. I'm talking about Raheem Morris or Kevin O'Connell. If you had to go back,
Raheem Morris would have focused on the defense and running the ball.
Right.
I think
we would have the same coach that they had pretty much in Zimmer, just a different style.
Yeah, just a different style and younger, basically. But but what they wanted to do was they didn't want Zimmer.
Yeah.
They were so anti-Zimmer that they went the complete opposite of Zimmer, and it worked for a year. Luckily, they had a lot of luck last year.
But think about it like this, though, right? If KLC keep calling these bad plays and not coaching the team right, they're gonna have something like Zimmer anyway, because it's gonna be Brian Flores.
And here's the thing. Teams now have film on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Teams now have the tendencies of the Viking offense. It ain't a secret no more. No. Flores is still, they don't know. And Tampa Bay showed it today. They didn't know. And I'll be honest with you, Flores kind of called off the dogs later. He was coming out blitzing, but he kind of called off the dogs late in the game. I don't know.
Yeah,
because they were tired. They were gassed.
Three defensive linemen and 8 DBs.
Yeah. He kind of called off the dogs. But with Flores, if they get more film, but I think Flores is smart enough to keep the game plan fresh every week.
Yeah.
Give different looks. Yeah. With KOC, don't know if he's got that. I think he's more or less everything's a script. It's scripted. And we don't go off script. And I think that's probably because of Kirk.
Well, I mean, they have probably the best receiver the Vikings have ever had since Moss. And are they misusing him? Because you can't cover him one-on-one. I know Zaire Alexander likes to think he covered Moss. Like he thinks he likes to cover JJ.
He got in his head.
But when you watch the All-22, Zaire was never on him one-on-one the whole game.
And you know what? Tampa Bay did the same thing today.
Right, but also in zone, JJ burned him in zone.
Yep.
So why? We know he's the best receiver. Yes, use him for a decoy sometimes, but I think sometimes KOC gets too smart. It's like, well, I don't want to use JJ because you put JJ unless you're running, it's a running play. You need to put JJ as the main focus every play.
In other words, he's overthinking it.
Yeah, I think he overthinks himself sometimes.
Yeah. He second guesses himself, and you can't do that as a head coach.
That's saying, JJ he's the best weapon in football. So key off of him. Yeah, use him as a decoy. You got JA on the other side now. That boy fast.
Have they
the play he made today? I love Thielen. He would never been that wide open.
No.
Maybe a young Thielen.
A young Thielen, maybe.
Yeah,
but not now.
But you have Jordan Anderson. I think he's the real deal. So now you have a legitimate threat on the other side.
You have two legit threats on the outside.
Right. So I don't know if he's using JJ. Right. I think he comes off of him when he doesn't need to.
He gets too cute.
By the way, here's another thing too. If you wanted to go more 12 personnel and you bring in Oliver, why didn't you run?
Right. What'd you sign him for if you ain't going to run the ball?
What did you sign him for if you're not going to run the ball?
Yeah.
But here's the thing also, this is problem number one. There's nobody there to check KOC and tell him what he's doing is screwed up. There's nobody there. They're going to let him do it. So we're kind of stuck with that. We're stuck with that.
Yeah.
So I know they hired Kwesi and KOC at the same time. What other GM candidate out there would you rather have them sign Poles, the guy for?
I would have rather had him sign Poles. Poles is going to blow up the team, which is probably what we needed. He was going to blow up the
allow
team.
him to do that, though. I heard that's the reason
that's why Kwesi was hired, because Poles wanted to blow up the team, and the Wilfs said no. The Wilfs had already put it out there that they had this competitive rebuild. Thanks to Mark Wilf, who went on interview and said, no, we can be a competitive team and still rebuild. No, you can't. So they wanted to get somebody, and Kwesi, just because he worked for a football organization, is not a football guy.
Y'all got to start talking about Grigson, man. Grigson is the guy that's telling Kwesi what to do on the football end, and he don't know nothing either.
Kwesi is an analytics guy.
Right.
And this is another move where the Vikings are going in the front office is more analytics. And they're also looking for ways to save money. They're playing Moneyball, which is, you got Andrew Miller, who, by the way, looks like another geek from playing D&D. I mean,
he's another non-football guy.
He's another non-football guy, and I think he got fired from the Blue Jays. So he's another non-football guy.
Was it the Blue Jays or the Athletics?
I think it was the Blue Jays.
Okay.
I think he was the Blue Jays. He might have been with both. Now that I think about it, he could have been with both. But when you've got owners that really only experience they have with football as being season ticket holders, and Mark Wilf gave a lot of control to Rick Spielman. He let Rick Spielman run the football part.
Or at least he was a football guy, though.
But he was a football guy, offensive line. He did a position he played, and he didn't know how to draft for.
Well, offensive lineman and quarterback, he had trouble finding, but he was pretty good at other.
He was pretty good at everything else. Yeah, he's pretty good at everything else. But now you've got, at least you had people that knew football. Now you've got people that literally in the front office don't know football. And there's literally, from what I've been told, there's literally no direction to this team at all. Front office,
up, Mike Sports vibes.
They just have no direction. They really don't know what they want to do.
Think about it like this, though. You said the biggest thing the Wilfs don't want to do is they don't want to be those 3-14 teams or whatever. But from what we saw today, like in the schedule that they have ahead of them, I'm not saying that you might end up being that.
They're gonna.
I'm saying
They're gonna see. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be a below 500 team, and it's
You get
going
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
way
Yogi?
below
Like,
500.
it might happen anyway.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So they're going to have to prepare for it.
You know the
Yeah.
Vikings are going to do the most Viking thing, and they're going to beat one of these teams they have no business beating, whether it's the Chiefs, the Eagles. They're going to beat one of these teams.
You know,
That's
here's a funny
that's what
part.
they do.
They could do something so unlike Viking, and everybody will be back on the ship, as I call it. They could go into Philly, win it, and then go on a run,
Which is what the Vikings do.
which is a Viking thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
I
like,
don't know, man.
but here's the thing: this team needs a quarterback. You need to get a younger quarterback. You're going to have.
They got Jaron Hall. Come on, man.
Hey, though, real talk though, Tony. They need to get another quarterback. They're gonna get that quarterback killed too. He gonna play one season. You know, it feel like he played 5 years because he doesn't get hit so many times.
He gonna lead the team.
David Carr.
You know what?
For real.
He will lead the team in rushing because he'll be running for his life behind that offensive line.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, all right. Let's just get a young guy, let him get killed too.
And this is
cheap.
This is a black mark. This is a black mark on the coaching staff and the front office. You knew you had to upgrade that offensive line, but instead you didn't. As a matter of fact, you doubled down and give Bradbury, who was one of your weaknesses, a 3-year contract. After you failed to you didn't want to accept his 5th-year option, but you still give him a 3-year contract.
And he had a car accident today.
Yeah, he ran into a player.
A big one.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't want no more tonight. I'm done, fellas."
Do they bring some of these players in just to have us as fans talk about it?
I think
like
so.
Reisner.
I think
they
so.
just bring him in, talk about we're not going to actually sign this guy, but we're just going to bring it in to look.
Well, here's another thing too. This is like GM number one of things you don't do. 1, you don't trade in your division. 2, you don't let players or prospective players or coaches come in without a contract and let them leave. You don't do that. You bring them in. That means they're going to sign. Not this. Well, we didn't sign. He left the building without a contract. You don't do that.
I do think though, like when it comes to Reisner, I'm not high on Reisner or whatever, but I do feel like Kwesi is playing like the money ball game, because if you sign a guy before the season starts, that contract is like somewhat guaranteed or whatever. But after week 1, you can get off of it. Something like that. I think
that's true.
We might see something this week, maybe like Tuesday or something.
We won't see. Here's the deal: we won't see Reisner. They got Quisenberry.
True. Yeah, maybe we never know.
Yeah. I think signing Quisenberry killed a Reisner signing.
Yeah, signing him.
I don't want Reisner anyway, but I was just saying, basically, like they could be wanting to wait to after week 1 to sign a guy.
Here's another thing too: you needed help on the offensive and defensive lines. You still do.
Yeah.
Why didn't you draft?
Well, they only have 5 picks, but
like Zoe said, they can't draft.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah, but did you really need another wide receiver?
No.
You could have just.
They did.
I mean,
they did. You could have found one in free agency or on a free agent market.
You could have got another wide receiver in the second round.
Receivers in today's football, receivers are a dime a dozen.
Well, the guy that plays for the Buccaneers, the Vikings were really looking at him.
Which one, Tompkins?
No, the rookie, the guy who cut the last touchdown.
Oh, okay.
The Vikings were really looking at him. They could have got him probably in the third round.
And that brings it up too, because you know who Kwesi wanted last year, right?
J-Mo.
He wanted Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
and the front office talked him down.
So,
he might have dodged a bullet on that.
I think the Vikings. Yeah, that dude's always hurt. I think the Vikings need to do 2 things.
If he ain't hurt, he gambling.
When it comes to the draft, the Vikings need to do 2 things. They need to draft an offensive lineman every year and a quarterback every year. Eventually, one of them's got to hit.
One of them's going to pan out.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: you need they're not sure what kind of scheme they want to run on defense anyway. They've got 4-3 personnel and a 3-4.
Yeah,
Davenport didn't even play today. That fool wears 0 for a good reason.
Hey, that's what I've been saying all week. He ain't nothing but a big old 0. That's all he is, man.
Yeah,
big old 0.
He didn't do nothing in preseason, but yet he ain't playing in the opening game. What did you do? Slip on the way to the refrigerator? What the hell?
He stole Pace's number.
Yeah,
man.
I thought, you know what though? I like pace and 40. I like linebackers.
I like picking 40 too.
I like linebackers
Yeah.
and like a double-digit number that looks intimidating.
Boo.
I don't like zero
Yeah,
on
Skolden,
no
I got
defensive
you.
on no
Trey
defensive
Palmer was the
end.
guy that the Vikings were looking
No.
at, the rookie.
What's that?
In the chat, Skolden, Trey Palmer. That
Oh,
was
was okay? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Skolden.
Yeah, it's and really the Vikings really haven't drafted since since Scott Studwell left the drafting department. Ever since he's left, it's been a real hit and miss.
Where you go?
Well, even any draft is a hit and miss.
It's a crapshoot.
It's a 60-40 proposition. More people say 50-50. I mean, for every bad offensive lineman the Vikings have drafted, you do have O'Neal and you do have Darisaw.
Man,
So-
Darisaw injury ass, man. That's another person. Do y'all get Darisaw a contract?
You're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to. You ain't there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You give him a
Hey,
contract.
though, Zoe, you
He's the
gotta
best.
rephrase. You gotta
he's the
rephrase
best
that
tackle
question
since
though.
Bryant.
It's not do they give him a contract? Can Kwesi get the contract done? Because JJ still ain't got a contract either. That's the question.
JJ don't want a contract right now. He
doesn't want a contract right
Exactly.
now.
Cousin.
Yeah,
He
he's waiting
rejected
on
the
Kirk
contract
Cousins.
they offered him today. I heard they offered him a contract. He rejected it.
Yeah, I heard it was,
they had something on the table.
I heard it was 5 years, 100. It was like 30 million a year or something like that.
30, and that's only as much as Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill makes 30.
So he wants.
year.
He needs
wants-
32.
So give him
wants more than-
30.01. Give him like, you know.
Give him
think
TJ
that's what
Hawkinson.
I
Like they
think
did
that's-
with Hawkinson over
Yeah.
$100,000. That's all they did.
Well,
Give him $100,000.
they're also saying that it's kind of tied into what happens with Kirk.
See, I heard. Does that
Why?
mean that JJ wants Kirk here, or does he want somebody else? I
Hell
don't
no,
know.
he don't want.
They never said. It's like, okay, so which way is this go? Do you want Kirk extended? Because we can't do that.
No,
we
I
got
Unless he takes a huge pay cut.
and Kirk won't do it.
Man, I don't want him to take no pay cut.
Hey, you can say what you want about Kirk Cousins, but when it comes to getting that bag, he knows what he's doing.
He had the best agent. He had the
But,
best.
Jay-
Well, you know what though? You had to find a team that was dumb enough to take the deal, and he did.
He
The Minnesota
found it.
Vikings.
Well, it was the Jets too.
Yeah,
The
but
Jets
the Jets
actually
weren't.
offered
The
him-
Jets weren't going to guarantee the contract. They
They
weren't going
offered
to
him
fully
more money
guarantee it.
too.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
weren't fully going to guarantee it. Here's Minnesota. Oh, we'll guarantee it. We'll just give
I think
it to
that
you.
was that the Spillmans trying to find a quarterback, or was that the Wilfs?
No, that was Spielman.
That was
Because Zimmer
Spielman.
didn't want him.
Zimmer didn't want him, but at the time, that power dynamic was Zimmer against Spielman, and it was starting to come to light. And it really came to light after Teddy got hurt, and then he got Bradford, and then they went through all that with, the coordinators. He got in a fight with Norv
He got in a
Turner after the Bears game. That's how he
broke
messed
my
up
heart,
his eye.
Tony.
Hey,
What?
you know what though,
Mentioning
Tony?
Teddy.
Real talk though. That's what I want. That's what I want to see in my.
You
That's what I
just
want
broke
to
my
see in my
heart.
head coach. I want to see my head coach get fired and punch somebody, man. You know what? Hey, you ain't running your plays right. Let's go outside the locker room
Okay,
real quick and throw them dogs, man.
The
That's
last
what I'm talking
player,
about.
the last coach that punched a player was years ago. Woody Hayes punched a Clemson player in a bowl game after he caught an interception, and the dude ran out of bounds on the Ohio State sideline, and Woody Hayes punched him, started a brawl, and that was the end of Woody Hayes at Ohio State.
We all know Jerry Burns probably punched somebody, just no one ever said anything.
Well, here's the problem with Burns. Burns was too drunk to throw a straight punch. So,
I'm just saying. I want to see that. I want to see that fire in my head coach, man. That's what I want to see. KOC.
yeah,
is
we've
not-
got right now. KOC is just so. It's so business as usual and seems so scripted. It doesn't. There's no emotion. Put it this way: it's cold.
It's making me seem like he only took this job to get it on his resume. Like,
Yeah, he probably did.
you know,
He
like if
probably
you feel
did.
that way, just give it to somebody else because you ain't calling the plays to make this team better or win. Like, figure it out, homie.
And he came up here. I mean, put it this way: Brad Childress came up here full of bravado, but Brad
kick-ass
Childress put the Wilfs.
Zed.
He put the Wilfs on notice. He's like, okay, guess what? If you don't give me a contract here, I'm going to Green Bay, and they're going to give me whatever I want. So the Wilfs panicked and kept him. He was holed up in a hotel in downtown Minneapolis for like 4 days. And the only reason the Vikings kept him because the Wilfs had to to interview a minority candidate that they knew they weren't going to hire, and it was Ted Cottrell.
Yeah, I don't
Ted Cottrell.
I will never like Brad Childress. He's to me.
I never liked him.
With as tough as he supposedly is, he ended up being a baby because he couldn't handle Moss. Man, give me a break. Come on.
His only claim to fame was when they said that T.O. got into it with the offensive coordinator. I was kind of like, well, wait a minute. Andy Reid calls the plays. Who's the offensive coordinator in Philly? It was Childress.
Yeah, you don't trade a player that actually have a verb after because he hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Well, and when he cut Randy Moss, then they got their asses kicked by the Packers the following Sunday. The Wilfs fired him, and I was shocked. They fired him, but then come to find out, he cut Randy Moss without telling the Wilfs.
Without them knowing.
Yeah.
Right. And Ziggy was like, I brought Randy Moss back here to sell tickets.
Yeah.
He brought Randy Moss back. He said he wouldn't have traded Randy Moss in the first place.
Yeah.
But he brought Randy Moss to sell tickets, and then Childress just went and cut him, and he's like, you're out of here.
See, that's why I don't want the same thing to happen to JJ to happen to Moss. I want JJ to be a career, lifelong Viking. I want him to be, by the time he retires, I want him to be multiple Super Bowl champion. I want him to be all the records for Minnesota. I want him to be the top dog of all receivers when he leaves.
Right.
He may not get.
We're gonna have to give him another coach then.
Yeah, he may not get the Rice records because he may not play as long as Rice, but
Well, and also let's think about it too, because if he gets enough pull and he signs another contract and re-ups, behind the scenes they're going to ask him about KOC.
Yeah,
and if he's not confident in KOC or Kirk, they're going to move on. But we don't know if it's going to be Kwesi or not. Kwesi's got, I think they both got 2 more years.
I think you have to give a GM at least 4 to 5 years.
He's got a 4-year. He got a 4-year contract
for his players to come in and take effect. But if you don't get better drafted, man, then I don't.
And that's another thing too. It's like so far a lot of their draft choices can't get on the field. They're hurt.
Yeah, hurt.
Like what happened to Roy? Roy didn't even play today.
He was inactive.
He was inactive.
He was inactive. DeAndre Carter was inactive. Hold on, I got
Asamoah was inactive.
Asamoah's ass was on the sideline. He just wasn't seeing no action.
He was
doing good, JJ. How was your weekend, buddy?
Hey, Asamoah was doing the same thing I was doing, watching the game, man.
Yeah, Hall, Muse, Roy. Those 3 were inactive.
Yep.
Jay Ward should have been active.
Davenport, Hall, Muse, Carter, Quisenberry, and Roy.
Yeah,
Davenport, man. Like when I saw that the couple of days, and I was like, he gonna be questionable. I was like, he ain't playing.
What up, JJ?
He ain't playing.
What up, Sarah?
JJ. Hey, Sarah.
What up, Sarah? Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys think Jay Ward was offsides on that play?
No.
He wasn't
offsides.
I didn't think so either. The broadcast said he wasn't either. So
no, he wasn't offsides. He was right where he was supposed to be. So
it cost him a touchdown. No,
it cost him a touchdown.
No,
it cost him a touchdown. So it's like I don't remember. I don't even know what the over/under was for the game.
It went under for sure.
It's definitely under.
Yeah. I think
definitely.
I think
under.
It was 40.
Yeah, like 44 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, way under.
Yeah.
Man, just think we on a short week. Like couple of days, they play one more time, and they play against the Eagles, man. On Thursday night,
and they got to travel.
Man.
Yeah, they got to travel, and you're probably only going to get legitimately, depending on when they leave. They probably leave Wednesday after practice.
Yeah.
So they'll get Tuesday's usually a day off, but they may be working out on Tuesday this week.
That's Kirk Cousins' day off with his wife.
Well, no, he's gonna have to get off his ass.
No, not on short weeks.
No, he gonna have to kiss the wife and kids goodbye, get in his minivan and get his ass to practice. No, we don't need.
It's not even a minivan. It's one of the big conversion ones.
We don't need you going up in Philly looking like you did last year. Hell no.
Hey,
No,
Kirk Cousins might be on the injury report next week.
Man,
with the way this offensive line is playing and Ed Ingram, it's a distinct possibility.
How many times? Hey, Zo, I was giving you a lot of flack about being a secret agent. The secret agent we really got on this team is Ed Ingram, man. He is secret agent, man. He played for other teams too many times.
I ain't never seen that before. He knocked the ball out the quarterback hand. Like, how
What
you
up,
do that?
Manacana?
How do you call height and swing your arm back like that? Like,
It's
Because he was scared. He was
in your
scared
meeting,
because
did he go, hey, coach,
he was
coach, is
scared.
that a forced fumble?
yeah.
Do I get
How-
credit for a forced fumble?
Wait a minute, coach. How does that work on my stat? I didn't fumble. He knocked it out of my hand. Shouldn't Ed get that forced fumble and not me? You know, cut me some slack here. I don't need any more grief. That was his
Yeah.
fault.
Ed Ingram,
Hey,
double agent,
the
man.
Vikings offensive line remind me of the Little Giants, though.
Hell, they remind me.
First down.
They remind me of the Three Stooges, and three interior guys remind me of Larry, Curly, and Moe.
Man,
Man.
for
Especially
real.
Ingram with his stupid ass.
Yeah, Ed
I
Ingram
was,
is
I was
horrible,
vouching
man.
for him though, man. I was like, all right, he a young player, you know, he gonna get better. But it's like when you
I gave
making
him-
mental
Yeah.
mistakes like that, it's like, what are you doing?
Well, I gave him a pass last year because he was a rookie. So I was
Yeah.
more on Bradbury.
Yeah.
But this year, now this is where coaching comes in.
Yep.
You didn't give that offensive line any time in actual game time to actually gel. And
Nope.
it takes offensive line time. Yogi, you guys know that. You linemen know that. You need time to gel. They didn't
But that's
get
why
any.
you play him in the preseason.
That's why you play
Let-
him in the preseason.
Let him get some run in the preseason.
There were these owners and coaches are so worried about their players getting hurt in preseason. If a player is going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. Don't matter if it's preseason, regular
play
season, or
scared.
postseason. You can't play scared.
How many guys got hurt today? And it happens. It happens every year
Well,
on the
There
first
was a-
game of the season.
There was a
Eric-
couple of Buccaneers laid
JK
out. I was
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. I think he tore his Achilles.
he's out. He's done.
He's always
He's,
hurt.
he's
Derek
always
Carr-
hurt though.
Yeah, he a
Darius
fucking
had
bum.
an ankle injury. Bradbury got in a car accident in the first quarter and quit. So it's like you guys got hurt, man. Like it's gonna happen. Like stop trying to save these guys. They need the reps, man. They need the reps.
They do.
This is how I feel about it.
That number on that truck they hit Bradbury was 50.
Oh, Vita Vea.
yeah.
Vita Vea. He was hitting everybody. He clocked on that goal line. They had the ball at the goal line. Dude, he completely ran over Ed Ingram and Schlottman. I'm like, damn, this dude running like he late for the buffet.
Do we
He
give
was. Kirk Cousins
give
was like a
Ingram a
big
gold
old
star?
steak over there, you know?
do we give Ingram a gold star for not stepping on Kirk's foot?
No, because he knocked the
that.
ball. out
No,
of
because
his
he
hand.
knocked the ball out of his hand.
Well, I know, but I'm saying at least he didn't
He
step
would
on his
develop a
foot.
new habit.
Yeah, he went from one to another. And
Yeah,
the
man.
next one will probably be he'll tackle Kirk. He'll get
Yeah.
he'll sack Kirk. He'll get credit for a sack from Kirk.
It's gonna be
Hey,
something
hey,
else,
hey.
man.
Hey, maybe he just pulled too fast.
Maybe. Hey,
I'm not going to touch that.
He just pulled. Hey, it was a pulling play, and Kirk didn't get back.
Well, then that should have been, if that's the case, if he pulled that fast, it should have been a false start.
right.
yeah.
Good night, JJ.
Night, JJ.
I would say something else about that too, but I'm just going to leave it.
Man.
But what did they do though? I mean, they're stuck with the offensive line they have,
They are, unless they don't have anybody on the bench that can
right?
replace
And they only have like
what they have.
five. They only have like $4 million in cap space.
Yeah.
Oh, they in trouble. Shit.
Yeah.
It's a long
mean-
season.
Yeah. And
That's probably why they didn't sign Reisner. He probably wants more than that.
well, Reisner also wanted to start.
Shit, at this point, he should have.
Well, that's,
He wanted to start.
I mean, that as
I
of
think
right
he-
now,
he
if
wanted-
you're not stepping on Kirk's foot or knocking the ball out of his
Has he
hand.
has Ingram
You
got
might
black
be
belt money
okay.
or something on you?
I don't know how many. I
he
don't know how
auditions equates?
anybody. How do you? I mean, it's a rookie, so this is where the offensive line coach comes in, and there's two offensive line coaches, by the way, for the Vikings. How
Oh,
do
yeah,
you just
one.
keep letting this guy do the same thing week in, week out? Matter of fact, he's coming up with new bad habits every week.
Right.
Hey, say it again, though, Tony. How
What's
many
that?
coaches is it? It's two, right?
Yeah,
I know
there's
he had
That's
no
the
other
problem.
Chris
That's the
Coop-
problem.
Chris
It's not
Cooper-
one vision.
Chris Cooper is the line coach, and he's got an assistant.
No, our center ain't shit.
Well, put it this way: you know how many assistant coaches KOC has on his staff?
Too many.
27.
Too many.
So something.
Is it the average like 15 or something like that?
Yeah, he's got 27.
He got 27 coaches on staff,
Yep.
and none of them can call plays.
He's got an assistant to the assistant, who's to that assistant, who's training to be that assistant.
Hey, I tell you what though,
That made no sense.
last
I need to be on
preseason
this.
game when they were opening up when Jaron Hall was starting and they were opening up the playbook, and I was like, oh man, this is looking good. To come to find out, it was Wes Phillips calling the play.
Yeah.
Man, we might just have to give up the play calling away.
So that was Wes Yogi calling
Yeah, that
those
was
plays?
Wes was calling plays in preseason. He was, and at the Arizona game, he was calling those plays too.
Wait, so I don't get it. So you wouldn't let the coaches get some run in preseason and get their feet wet, but your offensive line can't get their feet wet? Like you got it backwards, man.
Yeah,
Ingram was the only starter that played in the preseason.
No, he
You
didn't.
know why?
Did he?
Yeah, he played the first game.
Played the
Who?
first game.
Ingram.
Yeah,
He
he
should've
got
played-
beat up. He
he
got
should've
beat
played
up
all
against
three.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-step Ingram. That's what I'm gonna call him.
He was not good in
Lord.
preseason either. He was the only starter that played.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
my
looked horrible
God.
then.
He looked like he fit right in with the backups.
Exactly.
That's where he
Exactly.
belongs.
That's what threw me off. I'm like, wait, that's when you said he was starting. I'm like, wait, he was. Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was playing against backups.
Oh my God.
Man,
Well,
this offense.
I mean, I think Sloatman is a backup. He did good today because he wasn't. He could have been worse.
Yeah, I ain't seen him get picked up.
Right. But I don't see. Is he just a cheaper version of Bradbury, or is Bradbury just that much better?
He's probably in. They're probably about the same. Bradbury might be bigger. So the one player that was. Oh, they have that player that's on the pup list is Reed.
Chris Reed.
Yeah,
Chris Reed, yeah.
He's a legit center.
Well, they had him for 2 years.
Hey, David, crazy.
This is the second year that he's been on TV. I don't think he's played it down.
No, yeah. Well, who's the one that got hurt in Green Bay last year? Was that Reed?
No.
O'Neal got hurt in Green Bay.
No, there was another lineman too, because Bradbury. There was another.
That was
I don't think
Slotman.
he's on.
That
I don't
was
think he's on
Slotman
the team.
got hurt.
Slotman got hurt. Yeah,
That was
Slotman was
Slotman.
starting last year.
Yeah, that was Slotman got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O-line always getting hurt.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, but that's like if you look at that play, like that play call that KOC ran in Green Bay, like it was stupid. There was no need to throw that ball that far. And at the end of that play, you lost Brian O'Neal for the season because on the interception, like he was trying to make a play because Kirk threw an interception. It's like, why are you throwing it that far?
O'Neal was a turf injury.
Yeah,
It was a turf injury, and he was on grass. It wasn't even artificial.
Well,
He was on grass.
I said earlier, I can't remember if it was this show or another show I was on. I've been a couple of shows today. I can't remember, keep track. But
yeah, me too.
Ingram
Man.
is so bad, he made O'Neal look bad.
He did.
He did. And I feel bad for O'Neal. O'Neal's coming back from a torn Achilles, and he's got to deal with an idiot next to him that is a human turnstile. I mean, it's making him look bad. It really is.
I wonder what are those conversations in the locker room like when you look at the tape and it's like, oh, this is the first fumble, and everybody looks at Ingram like, what were you thinking? Like how does that go?
You don't have, especially in a lot of locker rooms nowadays, you don't have players that call out other players.
No.
Okay.
You used to, like back in, like I'll use the old school Vikings. If Ed Ingram had did some crap like that, he would have been called out by Tim Irwin, Randall McDaniel, Mick Tingelhoff, Ron Year. He would have been called out. He would have been called out worse by John Michaels, his O-line coach. Even Denny would have called him out. But with this new Mike Tice too, Hutchinson would have called him out. Stussy and Christie would have called him out. But with this new generation of players,
with those guys,
huh?
He wouldn't even be on the team with those guys. He'd have been a water boy or something.
No, he would have got cut. He would have got cut.
Well, you can say what you want about the triangle of authority, but at least they always had a darn good offensive line and a defensive line.
It was a triangle even before. It was a triangle up until the draft, and then he fired Fran Foley.
But they've. I mean, look at the offensive linemen the Vikings have had. The defensive in '98. The reason that team was good is because they were good in the trenches.
Oh yeah,
plus
up and down the
plus
line.
The offense they had.
Yeah.
Their secondary wasn't very good. They just had Jimmy Hitchcock, who seemed to fund the ball, no matter where it was thrown.
We had nothing on that. It's a wonder
Yeah.
we were 15-1. We had nothing on that defense. Your most dominant pass rusher
Yeah.
was John Randall. He's undersized and playing hurt.
Damn, 40 to zip.
Yeah.
Is it
But
40
the
to nothing?
Cowboys,
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. I know the Giants are really Daniel Jones. We gave you an extension, and this is what you do.
Well, like I said, you need an extension. Play Minnesota, they'll get one.
Yeah, that extension-
Damn.
yeah, that's how you like that extension now there, Giants.
is it over yet? Is it over yet, Zone?
It's
Well, it's been over
6:30
since his
left.
first quarter.
In the fourth?
Yeah.
D
So
Woods.
they got some time to put some on there.
This is for you from David Ditter.
That's not enough.
No.
Hey, you know what though? Like, yeah, hey, y'all know how I feel about it, but I'm just afraid now, like how frustrated JJ looked on the sideline. You know, with the situation, they might not come to a deal.
That look right there told me everything I need to know about JJ.
Hey Tony, you know what gave me away with JJ?
What's that?
On that interception when he hit that corner.
Dude, that's frustration. He was pissed.
That was
He
angry.
was
And why
pissed.
he ain't here? I said, boy, it fed up.
That would have made like years ago. That would have been on them videotapes the NFL used to sell, like the NFL Crash Course.
Yeah.
That hit would have been on there. John Facendo's voice would have, and all of a sudden you see JJ just lay dude out. I'm like, oh,
But who was he mad at? Was he mad at
he wishes. I think
KJ or was he
JJ.
mad at Kirk?
I think
'Cause
JJ wishes. I think JJ wishes it was KJ. He was hitting like that.
Yeah, because KJ had that ball ripped from his hand.
But the
Yeah.
ball was late.
No, it was right in KJ. It was in KJ's hand.
KJ did the same thing that Rager did last year. Instead of
Right.
staying where he was, he shifted over.
Don't forget-
interception that if you look at the interception that Kirk threw against the Colts, if
Colts,
Rager would have stayed where he was, that ball would have been completed. It wouldn't have been a pick
remember that
six.
Yeah.
He did the same thing that Rager did last year.
And here's the funny thing. Don't forget, last year we won a game like that against the Bears
Yeah.
when Danzler stole the ball from
The receiver.
ISL.
Yeah, the guy we used to
the
have.
secret agent.
From
Yeah.
yeah. There's
The guy that
a lot of ex
He got
Vikings
a
in the
Super
damn
Bowl
league.
ring, man. He got a Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs.
Didn't even play. He just got
Didn't
one for
even
being
play.
on the roster.
It's not the same ring. I think they have different level of rings.
No, unfortunately they get the same ring.
Oh, do they? Oh,
Yeah, they get the same ring. Everybody in the front office gets the same ring.
Ugh.
Yeah, they get the same damn
He
ring.
get that Cracker Jack ring. Everybody else gets the ring.
Oh, there was a dude I played high school ball against in St. Paul, and he played at the U, but he got drafted by Washington. So when they won the Super Bowl in '87, he spent the whole year on IR and got a ring, and never played it down in the NFL. But he's got a ring, a Super Bowl ring.
I bet
I
he's
ain't
gonna
gonna
hold on to that
watch.
to forever.
Fraudulent.
I'd be like, it still counts.
It still counts, man. Hey,
Hey,
and he probably
I didn't play it down, but look what I got.
Now,
Yeah.
like, yeah, back in the day, I won this ring. I run this ring and everything like that.
And I bet he tells his grandkids, man, that year was so awesome. I got so many pancakes. I don't know what position you played, but I got like 10 pancakes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, I still remember Super Bowl Sunday like it was yesterday. I was in the lounging chair. I had the nachos and the chicken wings. I was
Man.
ready to rock, and I got a ring.
Oh.
Money in the bank.
Yeah.
What's your
There you
guys'
go.
predictions for Thursday?
Ooh.
Ugh.
You made my
Here's the thing,
my
though.
head hurt.
Here's the thing, though. It's hard. I don't know if you can go off today's game or not, because
Shit, you got to.
you never know if the Patriots are that good or if the Eagles just played bad.
I'm kind of wondering if the Patriots are not that good.
Because if the Patriots are not that good, then the Vikings should be in this game against the Eagles because Eagles did not look good against the Patriots.
But what about the trenches, though? That's where the
That's-
game's going to be.
That's
won and
problem
lost.
number one.
Well, I
Because
think
if
we had.
Bradbury have another crack, he don't play, and if
Bradbury-
Ingram keep doing what he's doing, against
Bradbury's
them
not-
bosses over there, I
Bradbury's
don't know.
Bradbury's not playing.
He not gonna go out there and get no
Yeah.
Jalen Carter. You crazy?
I think
And
any
he gonna,
team.
and he gonna come back against Carolina like, hey, I'm healthy,
Yeah.
guys.
I think almost any team the Vikings play against, they're going to be a disadvantage at the offensive line. So
defensive lines too. Our defensive line ain't
Yeah.
exactly a bunch of.
It's not that good either.
They ain't the
yeah,
purple
but there's a lot of
Steelers.
bad. There's a lot of bad offensive lines out there.
Philly ain't
Yeah,
one of
but
them.
Well, no, Philly ain't one.
Philly
of them.
ain't one of them.
I'm
You
worried
know,
about-
it's just-
I'm worried, but
And
I'm worried
unlike,
about the offense.
I think the
Well,
Eagles are going to
put it this way: how bad is Tampa Bay when Daniil Hunter still got a sack today and he had 3 dudes beating his ass?
And that's the Neil Hunter though.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
a piece right there.
Yeah, he had 3 dudes on him and he still
And
got
does
the sack.
Davenport play? And what does he do if he does play?
Davenport will be here in Minneapolis, probably sitting at the bar, trying to hit on the
Yes.
local skank.
Because, like I said, I love Wanham, but he was invisible today.
One of them, I like him, but he
I
just
didn't even see him today.
he's playing out of position. If he put his hands in the dirt,
Yeah, because he went to South Carolina where I went to school. They played a 4-2-5 or a 4-3.
right? But he's
And-
also kind of light.
Yeah, no, he's a he should be better at outside linebacker, but he's good with his hand.
Well, the one they should have kept. Well, he's on practice squad now. The one who probably would have fit perfect was Luigi Villain. I mean, the outside linebacker is perfect for him. Patrick Jones is a defensive end, but they're trying to make him. He's got more of a
and he still flashed today.
and he's still flashed. Yeah, he's still flashed. So I mean, Thursday, it's all about the trenches, and we just don't stack up.
Hey Tony, we talking good about the defense though. Like Zoe said though. What if the
Yeah,
defense showed up today? What about that offense though? What about that offensive play calling? Are they going to try to run the ball? Do they have anything outside of the scripted plays? Like what's going to happen? Like that's what I want.
Well, and here's another thing too. KLC has got to stick with the run game long enough to give his offensive line confidence to start creating holes. He abandons it right away. If a run play doesn't work, he abandons it. Instead of let's try it again. Let's try another side. Let's keep at this until we get positive yardage. He abandons it.
We went from one head coach.
Quarterback.
We went from one head coach who ran it too much,
right,
to a guy who doesn't run it enough. We need to find the balance.
Right. KOC
is not running the football.
KOC is not running. And I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know what that play where Ingram knocked the ball out of Kirk's hand. I don't know if that was a run play or not. That might have been a sweep.
We never know. He's a play
with the pulling guard, but we'll never know because Ingram decided to sabotage the play and knock the ball out of Kirk's hand.
Hey, if you ask all the offensive linemen, they're gonna say it was this play. He was gonna say, "Oh, I thought it was the other play." He didn't know what he was doing on that play.
Actually, Ingram won't say a word because he has no idea what anybody is saying because he's not bright at all.
And why run the ball when you could throw a tight end screen?
Why would you throw a screen?
Hey, yo, he almost got TJ killed though. I was like, man, that boy hit him so hard on that screen. I said, damn.
You know what they did? They said to TJ, "You gonna earn your money, boy. You gonna earn your money."
How's your equilibrium now?
Yeah, how's that ear doing, dude?
He might have even play.
It was a medical miracle. He got paid. Also, I'm healthy.
Oh, he was healthy as hell. He was running laps and everything.
Hey man, why are we throwing the ball to CJ Ham?
Why is CJ Ham still on the team?
Why is CJ Ham even on the field every
Blasphemy,
time?
Tony.
What? He's a local guy. I know. But I'm like, why is he even on the team?
I don't know what it is about Minnesota people. If a guy's from Minnesota and he has to be on the Vikings, he's got to be a starter for the Vikings.
Well, because traditionally, years back. But yeah, he's been on the team enough years that he can say he played for the hometown team. Let him go.
Right. Yeah.
Let him go.
And especially
he's not a Tony Richardson who can catch the ball out of the backfield.
And that's another thing too. It's like KLC kept the guy. He brings in Oliver. Hey, you don't run the ball?
Let me tell you what happened, Tony. This is what I think what happened. KLC knew he was getting flack last season for not running the ball consistently. He looked at Shanahan's offense and said, "I'm gonna try to emulate that." But at the end of the day, he ain't Shanahan. That's what it comes down to.
Dude,
He's not Shanahan.
He's not even Shermer.
He's not even
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though. Like
he's not even Darrell Bevel.
Because if you think about it, in the offseason, it was like, okay, they re-signed CJ Ham, they got Oliver, they're gonna be, have these different running plays, just like San Francisco or whatever. What does San Francisco do well? They run the ball, they play defense, and they got good trenches. KOC, you don't have that. So you can't run those same plays that the 49ers have when you don't have the personnel.
Also, we also have another problem with KOC. He doesn't make halftime adjustments.
No.
He does not make halftime adjustments. Zimmer didn't make them, but he does not make halftime adjustments. And
so basically, we in trouble for Thursday night.
I want to say, as bad as last year's game was, this year's won't be because of Flores. But here's the problem too: Jalen Hurts is mobile as hell, so he's not Baker Mayfield. So that could come into play. But
yes, man.
I'm gonna say Eagles win it, maybe 27-17.
So who's gonna be the spy on Jalen?
Oh, it's gonna have to be
because you're gonna need one.
You're gonna need one.
Is it gonna be Metellus, Asamoah, or Hicks?
Now that you said it, I bet it's Metellus because Metellus
would be better off.
Metellus has got the speed to keep up with him. Hicks is too slow.
Hicks played good today, though, for real.
He played decent today, but it ain't like the Buccaneers got a lot of speed.
Right.
So it's like if you put the running backs out in the flat like Dallas did last year, Hicks is toast.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying he played good today.
He played good. He played and this is what Flores. He had him in the parameters of his. He had the defensive players in the parameters of what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't put them out there to look bad. Unfortunately, the offense didn't do its part. Once again, too many 3-and-outs. Too many. And you can't do that. I'm sure, I'll tell you what, I'm sure Brian Flores says something to KOC after this game.
I hope he did.
I
hope he did.
Well, I'm sure he did. I'm telling you right now. And it was not you need to do this, you need to do that. It was more of a like, listen here, mofo, you ain't going to put my defense in a hole like you did today.
But that would have to be one of the reasons why you hired him, because he has the head coach experience.
He's got the thing is, Flores has to light a fire under KOC's ass, or else KOC will be complacent again.
And then you know what's going to be in the media? Oh my God, KOC and Brian Flores not getting along. They can't see eye to eye. Who gives a shit as long as they win games?
Yeah. If they're losing, that's going to be the talk. That would be all over sports radio here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, in my high school, my head coach and my defensive coordinator hated each other, but we went to the state championship 3 times in a row.
Yeah, just because you work with somebody don't mean you gotta like them. Yeah, just because you work with somebody don't mean you gotta like them.
Yeah,
just put it this way: as many people in my family, I hate 3/4 of them. That's why I don't talk to them. But they're just family. And I'm civil. If you're working, you got a job to do. You get the job done, whether you like it or not. Put it this way. Chuck Noll and Terry Bradshaw never got along.
Nope.
Never got along. But they won 4 Super Bowls.
And they respected each other. Tom Landry didn't like Roger Staubach originally because he scrambled too much. But they respected each other.
That boy Mike was
Norman Van Brocklin and Fran Tarkenton didn't like each other.
Oh,
they hated each other till the day Van Brocklin died.
I'm sorry, but the Vikings, they got rid of the wrong person, man. They should have got rid of Van Brocklin and kept Tarkenton.
They got rid of both. Well, here's the deal.
Well, they got rid of Tarkenton first, though. They traded Tarkenton, and then
here's what happened. Van Brocklin resigned, and then they hired Bud Grant. Bud Grant wanted to keep Fran, but Fran had it in his mind he was going to win in New York. So he wanted to go to the Giants, and he wanted to also take eyes off of Joe Namath. That's how cocky and arrogant Fran was. And so when it fell apart after 6 years, the only team I think that wanted Fran was Minnesota and Bud Grant. Bud wanted him here. If put it this way, if Bud keeps Fran, I don't know if we go to the Super Bowl, but Joe Cap doesn't come up here. Joe Cap probably ends up with the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, but if they had Fran Tarkenton instead of Joe Cap, did they win that year?
Oh, in 69?
Yeah.
Ed Ingram will save us. Hey man, get this secret agent out of here, man.
What
Hey,
the hell?
I knew you was a Philadelphia Eagle fan. You over here rooting for Ed Ingram, man. Hey,
Ed Ingram will save us?
You see what I'm saying, though?
Oh my
That better be
God.
a typo or something. Oh, come on.
I think-
Ed Ingram will save us. Hey, I told y'all he was an Eagles fan. I told y'all that.
I
I
think
told y'all, man.
to answer your question, I think with that defense and Fran, they probably would have won. I'm not gonna because Fran was more mobile than Cap.
Well,
But
he could throw the
Cap
ball
had
better,
it-
too.
Cap had that leadership ability. Now, if Cap sticks around, I think they go back in 70 and beat the Colts.
Yeah.
But we had Fran for 3 Super Bowls, but
Hey,
I
hold
can't even
on.
I can't even blame Fran for that because the defense just got manhandled in 2 of them.
Hell no.
Oh.
Hell no. That was you right. I said, hold on. I don't know what they talking about. So I'm looking like
Hey, that chat.
That's-
Wow, Yogi. What's going on in the chat, man?
hey, I'm sitting back, listen, they going old school.
I know, Sarah.
I'm sorry.
I know,
I've been watching the
Sarah.
Vikings since '77.
Hey, I'm
man.
looking like-
I've been watching them since
They
'71.
talking about Chuck, and I'm like,
I know, Sarah. Zoe is completely lost. He don't even know what a book is or Google or anything like. He don't know what history is. So he's like off in the Netherlands somewhere.
And you gotta watch that history, the history of the
I was back
Vikings
in the
doc by Luke
70s.
Braun. It's pretty good, man.
He ain't
Pretty
gonna
good.
watch it.
I
He
like
ain't gonna
it.
watch it.
It's
It
pretty
takes too
good,
long. It takes too long, and it starts too soon before he was born. He ain't gonna watch that.
Dang.
They
There
wear
you go,
leather
Zoe.
helmets.
There they go, though. Maybe lying history. There they go.
what the line got to do with anything? That's crazy, yo. That line shit, though, that's crazy.
Well, the Lions are the greatest thing since sliced bread, according to everybody right now.
Yeah.
My phone been going
Yeah.
crazy
Man.
today, man.
A broken clock is right 2 times a day, man. For real. Brian O'Neill did.
Look who he playing with. Shit.
Ingram
Brian
made him
O'Neill
look bad,
comment?
though, Mike.
The whole line
Ingram
is
made him
bad,
look
man.
bad.
Well,
Yeah.
Brian O'Neill didn't look good today because he had a cover for Ingram's ass.
Yeah.
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 And he's
And
coming
plus-
off injury.
And here's the thing: they were coming off them edges like there's no tomorrow.
They had too many free rushers, man.
Yeah, they had too
Well,
many
you guys
free
coming
rushers.
free.
Yeah, they had seven pass rushers for 5 blockers. So
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I think the person that had the most hits on Cousins today, I think, was Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah.
Turn cousin ass up.
Yep.
just like his pops, man.
Oh my God, yeah. But the Vikings didn't draft him. He was right in the hometown. They didn't need him.
Who they draft instead of him?
They drafted someone in the first round. Winfield was taken later.
Winfield's
Oh.
taking that. Oh, what draft was that? That was the Gladney draft.
Damn. R.I.P. Gladney.
Gladney and Danzler.
Yeah. 2 guys ain't on the
Yep.
team no more.
Yeah, Gladney and Danzler. That was, and those were Spielman, not Spielman, Zimmer picks.
Zimmer picks.
Yeah.
Cornerbacks, of course. Of course, DBs.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Mike Evans, Dantzler,
Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike Hughes, Dantzler, Gladney.
Gladney.
I think Gladney might have been good, but rest in
Chris
peace.
Boyd was his.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Gladney would have been solid, but
Gladney,
He had some issues, man.
got in trouble right away too, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. He had issues at TCU, so I'm surprised the Vikings even drafted him. So
Dang,
he
for
was
real
just
though, Curtis, he had issues at TCU and they still drafted him
Yeah.
yeah,
in the first
I do-
round.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
hearing that. He had a lot of issues. A lot of issues.
but they think they can. These guys have the mentality that hey, we can fix them. Some people you can't fix, man.
The biggest one that was like that was Denny Green. That's why he drafted Demetrius Underwood. He thought
Yep.
he could fix him, and it burned him bad.
Ain't that where he took Randy Moss?
No, yeah, he took Randy Moss because he knew he could change him. Plus, we had Randy's brother Eric on the team.
Well,
Oh,
not
for real?
and yeah, we had Eric Moss. He was an
Eric
offensive
Moss was on the
lineman.
team.
And some of the stuff with Randy was kind of blown out of proportion. Like,
Yeah.
if you watch the history of Randy Moss, you'll see that a lot of the stuff that happened to him really wasn't. He didn't start it. He let a lot of stuff go before he actually did anything.
Yeah,
And some of this, him getting kicked out of all them schools, I think it was just the school just didn't want to deal with it. It really wasn't wasn't. I mean, Randy's not perfect, but a lot of the stuff that happened, all that stuff,
blown out of proportion.
was way blown out of proportion.
proportion.
But hey, I'm glad though. I'm glad all those teams passed on him, and the Bengals passed on him twice. So
yeah, who did Bengals take? Keely Smith.
But the Bengals passed on him twice that year. They had 2 first-round picks.
They took a linebacker.
Yeah.
Next, I think it was Williams. Was it Williams?
So
Alfred Williams. Yeah, they passed on him.
Yeah.
But they figured
That's the best coach we have for real.
He's the reason why I live in Minnesota.
Denny.
Yeah, that's the best
that's
coach we had.
That's the last real coach we had, and he got a lot of grief up here.
I think some Viking fans are never happy, man.
Well, and
I think so too.
Denny got the grief because Denny wasn't, as they say, one of us, but Denny wasn't part of the Bud Grant regime. That's why. He wasn't part of the Bud Grant regime. That's the way they think up here.
Well, Les Steckel wasn't part of the Bud Grant regime either.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Was he? Oh.
Yes. Matter of fact, Bud wanted a contract. Mike Lynn, at the GM at the time, was like, let's wait another year before we give you a contract. Bud's like, well, then screw you. I retire. And he's like, well, then who's going to coach the team? And he's like, well, I think Les Steckel will be a really good young up-and-coming head coach. He just forgot about Jerry Burns altogether because Burns was still on the staff.
Yeah.
And so when the year was falling apart, Burns was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to Cleveland with Marty Schottenheimer. So the year fell apart in 84. The next day after their final game, they asked Les Steckel for his resignation. He said no, so they fired him. And you knew right away they were going to give the job back to Bud.
Yeah.
So didn't Les Steckel have like one of the worst seasons in Viking history?
Yeah, Les was 3. That team was terrible, dude.
Kevin O'Connell
they were 3-13, and they barely out of the 3 games they won, they barely won 2 of them. I mean, they should have lost. The one game we won, we beat Tampa Bay on a last-second field goal, and they beat Detroit. Yeah,
last-second field goal, and they beat Atlanta by 7 points. Other than that, they were losing like 51-7.
Yeah. Sorry. So I guess we need to bring it back to modern times. So
Zoe's like a deer in the headlights. Like, what the hell are they talking about?
I got Sarah. I love your comments about that. You're looking like Kurt Dacey.
Yeah, we got to talk about Randy Moss. They went back to the 70s again. Like, damn.
Zoe was fine up until Randy Moss. Once we got past Randy Moss, he was like, oh my fucking God. Oh, they're talking history again.
But you gotta know about you gotta know about the Vikings history to understand.
You gotta know about the history to know the suffering.
I ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta know about the reason why we give ourselves this pain and suffering.
The quote
I'm telling you, go watch that doc, man. It's gonna help you out, help me out a little bit.
The Drew Pearson push off.
Like what's that?
The Drew Pearson push off.
Don't get me started there. Don't get me started.
I live in San Antonio. I hear it all the time. Every time they see me a Viking, they go, "Oh, Drew Pearson." I'm like, well, they're worse than Green Bay fans, man.
Well, and here's the worst thing about the Cowboy. Now I'm going history here, Zoe, so just bear with me. The worst thing about the Cowboys was, and Bud Grant brought this up, you should never have like coaches and GMs on the competition committee.
Right.
The 2 prominent members of the competition committee back in the day were Tex Schramm of the Cowboys, Don Shula of the Dolphins. Yeah. So they were slanting everything to their chance, which is why they changed the defensive rule like they did. That was Schramm. And that was Shula, because Shula couldn't contend with the Steel Curtain. And Schramm couldn't contend with the Purple People Eaters.
What up, Bob?
They would change the rules to favor the offense. And that's just well known. But Cowboys, if put it this way, if the ref hadn't give them that first down on like 4th and something, and they gave him that first down in midfield when he clearly had 1 foot out of bounds, we don't get the Hail Mary. The Hail Mary doesn't happen.
Right.
And up until then, that was the best Viking team of all time.
It's still the only
team
that was close is the '98 team, but yeah,
it still is. I think honestly, and I'm not saying it as a homer, but looking back at Super Bowl 10, if Minnesota's in that Super Bowl, we beat Pittsburgh.
Yep, easily.
We beat Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh was beat up when they got to the Super Bowl. They were so beat up. Joe Green played like the opening series and was not in the rest of the game.
Yeah, the only reason they won that is because the tight end for Dallas dropped the ball.
No, that was 13.
Okay.
That was 13 where Jackie Smith dropped that pass.
Yeah, I get them confused sometimes. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah, David, that was the whiskey bottle that the fan threw from out of the stands and hit the referee. Yep, that's the one.
Just a
And,
quick
okay,
little
now-
update on fantasy football. Right now, Skull State of Mind is getting beat 101.54 to 96.
Yeah.
Mike Sports Vibes is getting beat 81.9 to 60.8. In the Zoe, Thuggins is beating Zoe 103.74 to 65.62. And your boy Yogi is beating Jacob's Last Stand 77.68 to 65.
What's Hell's Bell 66 doing?
Let's go to that one.
What about the 8-team league? How you doing in that one, Yogi?
Yeah, we won't bring up that.
Hey, Yogi.
So I lost. And let's see, Hell's Bells. Woo. Too evil to hope. 154.96 to Hell's Bells 93.54.
Oof.
So we
Wow.
That's a bucket.
Man,
internet lost today.
I can't win the game at all this week.
Damn,
man.
who the hell did he have? I have to check that. I have to check and see who he was playing. I need to check my roster.
I had some Cowboys where the Cowboys put a whooping on them Giants.
Dak ain't do nothing though.
Tony Pollard had like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did CD Lamb do anything tonight?
Not really.
Yeah.
He had 77 yards, no touchdowns.
Okay.
Dak only had 143.
Okay.
Dak
Yeah, because didn't they run the ball?
don't even run the ball.
I think they got a defensive touchdown too, though.
They got defense
Yeah.
touchdown, special teams.
Yeah, they did, and then they
Man, I hate that too because we got a lot of Cowboys in here in California. They just talk too goddamn.
Cowboy
much, man.
fans are everywhere,
They just,
dude.
oh, we back. It's all year again. We back.
They beat the shit out of the Giants, dog.
January, they be walking around with their heads down. I thought y'all was back. Oh, Dak Prescott wouldn't get done.
Well, tomorrow I'll be listening. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be listening to New York talk shows, sports talk, because they're going to rail on Daniel Jones in that contract.
Dan Jones ain't shit.
Hey,
They're
you
going to
guys-
rail on him.
Contract.
You
Yeah.
guys get the regional
and he
Cowboy
Kirk Cousins
fans.
with legs.
You guys get the regional Cowboy fans. I live in Cowboy country, so it's
There's a
awful.
there's a ton of them here in the Twin Cities. All it takes is traveling 35 and you're here. But yeah, they are just like, how about them Cowboys? They sit your ass down. You ain't did shit since 1995.
You ain't
And-
30 years.
I tell them all the time. I said, damn well, you guys should give Vikings at least a half a Super Bowl trophy because if it wasn't for Mike Lynn, you guys would have never won them Super Bowls.
Exactly. Exactly.
That dumbass.
Well, just like I tell Laker fans about the Lakers, you're welcome.
Yeah,
hey, watch it, Tony. You know I'm a California boy. Lakers all day,
Yeah,
man.
but
Hey,
you know
You say
where
you're
the
welcome. You say you're welcome. You know what I say? Thank you.
All right. Well, shoot. We'll Curtis and the crew will be back on Thursday night after the game. But anybody got any last words?
Play calling got to get better going forward, man. I don't know how much I can express that so much. Like KOC with these scripted plays,
Hey,
you got to do
man, we're
better than
playing the
that, brother.
KFC all the time, man.
you have to.
Hey,
You have to after a
man.
while. You have to.
You have
Oh,
to,
you know
man. Like
I forgot. Zoe, you still got control. I could go to bed. You could still.
I'm about to tap out too, Yogi. I gotta,
I'm about to
Do
log
my
off
thing,
too,
too.
though, for real.
Oh,
Yogi showing his old age here.
man.
Hey, Yogi getting tired.
Man, I've been.
I
running
can't-
around
you know
all
what?
weekend.
I can't talk. I'm about to check out myself.
Hey, D Wood.
what up, Zoe?
Hey, man, stay off KOC, bro. It's Kirk Cousins and Bun Fart, man.
Hey, but you know what Kirk Cousins and your O line is. At least run some plays that's gonna, that's gonna hide their deficiencies.
You
If
can't
you
hide
put
that.
it-
You can't hide
at
no
a point.
Here's
At
the
a point-
thing. Here's the thing, Zoe. if you're the head coach and you know you have these deficiencies at quarterback and offensive line, you try to fix them.
Exactly.
He didn't do that. So then it's no longer, it's still Kirk and O-line are the problem, but now it's the coaching staff and management that's a problem for letting it continue.
Yeah,
exactly.
At some point, you got to stop blaming Cousins because you know what he is.
And I blame Kirk. I blame Kirk enough for a lot of things, and rightfully so. But this one, I actually have to give the blame to somebody else.
What?
Like,
I actually have to give the blame to somebody else. Yeah, Yogi, you got Yogi. Get this moment. I'm blaming somebody besides Kirk Cousins. But it's this is management and the head coaching.
Because you know Kirk is not good for some reason in his mind. He has the ability to do it. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't run. Mm-hmm. He doesn't move. So you need a good interior offensive line. Yep. The Vikings have not given him the whole time he's been here. Have not given him a good interior offensive line. And you know what he is. Mm-hmm. So to
the defense,
and you don't want to run the ball, and you don't want to run the ball consistently to give your offensive line some kind of confidence by going forward. So they're just backing up all game because you're getting too pass happy. And
like I said before, and I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. If anybody's ever played the game of football, you go better moving forward than backwards. So what do? For an offensive lineman, you run the ball. It's not rocket science, but for some reason, KOC has turned this into an analytical nightmare. He really has. It's just they're thinking way too damn much. Just go out there, play football. Put the 12 best plays on the field, run them to death until they stop them. Then run another depth.
Run to the right, one to the left, go through the middle, do a swing pass, do a sweep play.
When are athletes at their best? When they don't think, when they just react.
When they don't think and they just react. As soon as that snap count, you just hit somebody.
As soon as
I don't know if that'll work with Ed Ingram because he seems like every time the fucking ball is snapped, he's running away from the play or doing something else. But if you want to get them confidence, snap the ball, let them take somebody one-on-one.
And we're going to end it with, just so everybody knows, Curtis, let them know what TYA stands for.
I kind of explained it earlier. TYA, the whole thing, TYA skull. I added the skull later, but it used to be TYA Catch 84. Catch 84 comes from Randy Moss. The TYA stands for That's Your Ass, because every time you threw the ball to Randy Moss, he handed you your ass.
So,
hey, we might have to change. You might have to change that to KOC. That's gonna be your ass. You can't call for
tonight's TYA moments of the game. What's your guys' TYA moments of the game? Mine is the play calling.
Mine is Kirk Cousins.
Offensive performance overall.
Right. That's a good one.
Running game.
How about you, Curtis?
Well, we've been on enough, but I say it's I can say KOC just in his play calling, but his philosophy of not playing the starters at all in the preseason. They were rusty as heck when they first came out. Cousins was throwing the ball high. We all know Cousins misses passes, but he never misses high. It's always low and to the left or to the right, but it's never high. He was way high.
He was high today. Yeah, he was high today.
So the stats for QB for teams not playing their starters at all in the preseason, the first week win percentage is pretty low.
Yeah.
And we are proof of that. See, last year the Green Bay Packers didn't play their starters at all either. That's why the game was what it was. But the Bucs are not a better team than us. They were just better conditioning, and they were more in sync with each other because they actually played in the preseason.
That's what's up. And with that, everybody, the Catch will be back on Thursday night after the game.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys letting me join the family. I've really enjoyed
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh,
Thanks
hell yeah.
I appreciate it too, though.
Yeah, Skull Vikings.
Skull Vikings.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you.